sure by now you've heard all about this game. It's been the subject of a number of YouTube videos, playing it, reviewing it, praising it, panning it, and it's a game that does get rather mixed views, and it's a game that's been a very long time since I've checked out. My earliest memory of the game goes back to high school. A buddy of mine handed me some games to borrow and check out, and this was among them. There were also some really good classic games like Metroid and DuckTales, and I remember telling him that I thought this one was pretty neat, and he was like, you know what, I think it sucks. You can keep it. I don't remember if I actually did keep it or I did give it back to him, but it's been since back then since I've played the game. And I was thinking of saving this review for November when there actually is a Friday the 13th, but I figured it's the Halloween season. Now's as good a time as any. If you've never seen any of the other reviews out there, the story is very simple. You take control of a band of 6 counselors at Camp Crystal Lake whose job it is to keep their campers and themselves alive and fend off Jason Voorhees for a total of 3 days. In order to do so, the counselors have to light fires in the cabin fireplaces, fighting off zombies, crows, and wolves as they go. There's an optional battle with Jason's mother's floating decapitated head. Heck, even the lighting of the fireplaces can be considered optional as long as you beat down Jason without taking too much damage. Easier said than done, however, as Jason gets more and more aggressive with each passing day. The gameplay is somewhat ambitious. It's not just an action game where you fight monsters, there's some strategy to it as well. What camper do you give what items to? Do you have the required supplies and whatnot? It gives the game interesting pacing to say the least, and I have a feeling that's a big part of what puts people off of the game. That and of course the map screen, which never really bothered me, but I can see why people complain. The path wraps around, so you need to stop thinking in left, right, east, west, and more clockwise versus counterclockwise. In short, you have to light the fireplaces, manage the different characters, keep an eye on the kids and the map, find the necessary inventory items needed to advance in the game, and fight off Jason every time you get to a cabin and he's attacking. It's rather involved, and when you navigate through the woods or the caves, it's really easy to get lost, so it's pretty clear why people dislike this game. And what about the presentation? Are there any redeeming qualities? Well, not really. The bulk of the music is very basic loops which get quite repetitive. However, the Jason attack theme is very fitting and downright iconic. But for the most part, the sound leaves a lot to be desired, as do the visuals. The lack of the character detail and the color choices on Jason's appearance are often mentioned in reviews. Jason and his purple coveralls and aqua mask are kind of strange looking, but they've become kind of iconic on their own. But the worst part of the visuals are just the sameness of so many of the backgrounds. You can easily get confused regardless of where you're going because of that. You know, the more I think about it, the more this game reminds me of E.T. on the Atari 2600. There's a lot of great ideas and there's a lot going on, but once you get past the intro, it kind of leaves a lot to be desired in the eyes of many people. Is it a bad game? No, it's not a masterpiece either, but on the NES you can do a hell of a lot worse. But if you're looking for a recommendation, you're going to have to look elsewhere. I can't do it. I just don't really have the patience to enjoy this game. Hope you've enjoyed this review. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.